Welcome back, everybody. I'm excited for today. Welcome back, everybody, to the open discussion where we will be discussing various topics that will allow women to understand men better and men to understand women better. With that being said, are y'all promiscuous? I'm just completely joking. We want to do this as respectful as possible. I'm your host, David. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host.
Welcome back. Episode number 6. 6 weeks in, man.
Yeah, bro,
It's been a ride. It's been a ride.
This is a good episode.
It's going to be a damn good ride. Hey, damn good episode. All right. Well, hey, everyone, welcome in. We have some special guests.
Special
in the building
today. We're going to change it up a little bit, guys.
No.
Change it up. Well, let's go ahead and intro.
So,
yeah.
go ahead. I mean, you got the...
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, man.
We'll go Carolina first. But can you give us your name, your ethnicity, and your occupation?
Yeah, so my name's Carolina. I'm a property manager, and I'm Hispanic.
Do you have any kids?
No kids.
Age?
Yeah, your age.
Oh, 24.
24. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I'm Sierra, and I work for Chase Bank, so I'm a banker at Chase, and I'm 28. I have 0 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your
Now-
ethnicity?
I'm Hispanic.
Are your parents together or separated?
They're separated.
Or what about you? I don't think
Separated.
Separated. Okay, so separated.
Relationship status.
Well, no, I was not married. I was going to say married.
Basically married.
Common law.
Common law marriage.
Okay. Yeah.
Married.
All right,
Yep.
guys. So today's basically agenda is these women are married and taken. So we're gonna get a inside scoop of what it is being inside of a relationship or inside of a marriage, and what it takes for you ladies, if you are single, to get to the level of having a man want to take you to the next step. Which sounds a little bit bad, but it's really not, because it does take time for a man to say, hey, you're who I want to be with for the rest of my life. So it does take a lot. With that being said, let's go ahead and start it off with the first question, which is what the title of the video is today, guys. Are you happy in your marriage? That's the first question.
Or relationship, yes.
Yeah.
Relationship, marriage, either one.
Yeah, of course. There's always hard times, whenever you're married or you're with somebody for a long time. But at the end of the day, I'm happy where I'm at in my relationship. I think all couples go through struggles. You kind of have to figure your way out or get to know the other person a little bit deeper instead of, just one argument. It's so simple to walk away. But, I mean, when you continue to work at it, it could be very fulfilling, if that makes sense, yeah.
That does make
Yeah.
sense, yeah.
It's hard, though, Don't get me wrong. It is hard. But at the end of the day, if you guys stay connected and grounded together, like, it's like a reward, because you know that you put so much effort into each other. And it's just a greater reward that you can kind of sit back and look like, man, I really just we went through a lot, but we're here, at the end of the day, it's me and you. And, that's how I kind of view it,
The connection, would you say, is like the strongest part of it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. A lot of people tend to, you always have to keep dating, if that makes sense. I know that's so cliche. Yeah. It's very true. Cliche, but, treat it as if you're meeting that person for the first time. I'm not saying like you don't have bad days or, there's always some trials coming up, and of course, like it's hard, but it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't forget about the chemistry. You got to have
chemistry.
chemistry.
You have to 100%. That matters. Yeah, chemistry definitely matters. Like sex matters. People don't talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you have to have a sexual connection because you can date all day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you guys are not fulfilling each other sexually, it becomes an issue, Like I went through this with Brian. Like sometimes like it's hard because it creates tension or friction in the marriage if you guys are not sexually in tuned.
Yeah.
Correct.
It is.
I like that you said that because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of women kind of forget to. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, a lot of women kind of forget to please their man in the bedroom. Like I think that's the most important part.
100%.
Trying to like be just spontaneous, something new every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That the woman is not. pleasing or
No, it's important for like
both.
us.
For both,
Yeah.
for both.
For both.
Yeah,
of
a lot of-
course.
Bring something new every time.
Oh, 100%. Rather than just
basically
playing.
implying
Yeah.
just have more threesomes and vibe.
Yeah, no, 100%. That and
Set
playing
boundaries, okay, y'all. Set
that and
boundaries.
I mean,
the
but if you're okay with that, I mean,
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yes.
For me, yeah.
There's a lot
every-
of people out there that enjoy
yeah.
that. And if that brings like some kind of spark into your relationship, man, it's to each their
Yeah.
own. You know what I mean? But
That's a
definitely
good
that's,
start.
yes, that is a very prioritized sex because
sure.
obviously like if you lose that sexual connection, tension, and then you begin to fight with this person, just give your man sex.
there's got to be
Yeah, give
there's
the head, not
there's got to be no there's got to be for sure there's got to be some kind of passion behind it, right?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
Yeah.
passionate sex is different to just a random night and it's just like there's no connection, right? There's got to be a energy exchange between the two,
Oh, yeah,
right? And so if you feel that, then you know that the sex is going to be intensified just
Yeah.
because of that, right? So
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
with that being said, what would a man do for you to increase your sex drive for him?
I think probably like she said, be spontaneous. Like, don't keep it so casual. You know what I mean? Like if you're in the car on a drunken night, somebody make the move, initiate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like take
Some
it back
some
to
alley.
like if you were
Yeah,
in high
yeah,
school. You know, we always like to feel that like, oh, okay, ooh, this
Yeah.
is getting a little spicy. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Try new things. Like, but I think what's important is to initiate. Be the person to initiate. I know I struggle with that a lot. Because obviously we rely on men to do that. A lot of women just kind of get like, oh, okay, we're comfortable. If he wants it, he will come get it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we have to reverse the roles a little bit and be like, you know what? I'm going to take like initiation by on my own. And you got to please, you know what I mean? It's every once in a while, you know?
Yeah.
I actually struggle with that too.
It's hard.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I always
It's hard.
allowed him to kind of like make the first move.
Like if he wants to, you're like, oh, okay. Because sometimes like you want it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But do you want to initiate it? It's hard. And then you're like, oh, I want him to come on to me all the time.
Well, it's very easy for you to do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're
I think it just
Yeah.
feels good
It's-
that he wants to.
Exactly.
I think
Y'all
for
know
us,
you
yeah.
want to, so it's like, why would women see? Women don't even understand that if y'all were the ones that initiate it, it makes us want it more.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and so I
For
learned
sure.
that.
You're
No.
like, yeah, I don't want to do it, and it's just like, no,
Yeah.
if we did it, we would do
Well,
it
it's
even
because,
more.
okay, put yourself, I mean, from a woman's perspective, like, there are some days where we don't want to at all. And then there's days that we want to. It's just like, with a man, like, sometimes there's that one chance out of 100, it's like they don't want to. And so with us, is if you initiate and you get turned down, like, that hurts our feelings. You know what I mean? Like that, we are crushed, and it kind of like, well, from a woman's perspective, we go based on emotions. You know what I mean?
That means a man's testosterone levels are down.
Yeah, that's
That's exactly what it means. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, good to know. We know that now.
Now you just need to give him his protein, let him hit the gym.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, of course.
Rounds
Build that
for sure.
testosterone. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
of course. Of
Make
course.
sure he ain't, doing whatever he needs to do in the restroom or whatever it is, and he saves it for that moment or whatever it is.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
I like to see sometimes. I think having sex too much is bad. In a sense, I feel like if you're having sex like every single day, you gotta think in a year that's what almost 200 times you had sex with your partner. If you would have, gradually did that over the course of 3 or 4 years, now it's like every time you have sex, it's actually a lot more pleasing.
You think it's more
Because-
meaningful?
Meaningful and more pleasing
Yeah,
because you're
more
not so
pleasing.
used to that person and their person's body,
I-
the moves,
yeah.
everything like that. You got to spread it out as
Yeah.
well.
I think you can do that, right? It's all based on the attraction, right? How attracted are you to your partner?
Exactly.
If you can
and-
carry the
yeah.
attraction throughout the entire relationship in the sense that both of you don't stop trying and trying to attract one another, I think that attraction is there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
at any moment, like if it's just a random Thursday night or a random Friday night, say Thursday night, you just get that attraction, like it's like, okay, yeah, tonight's is going down.
It's going down.
But then you can have that same feeling tomorrow, and you can have that same feeling Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it's all
I
on
guess
the
it goes
attraction.
based on the person and
Yeah.
the relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I don't have sex every day. You know what I mean? But I
Every
mean,
day is wild, yo.
every day is
I'm
wild.
like, no, we can't
Yeah.
do this. I'm drained. I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
What about you? What
Well,
do you
I don't
think?
know. I think there's always honeymoon phases in the relationship.
At the beginning.
Like, at least for me, I'm only speaking for myself.
Yep.
But you know how like when you're first starting off in a relationship, it's always like every single day.
Yeah.
Like throughout the years, it's spread it out.
It is spread it out. It's
I
like
always have a
sometimes.
honey.
I don't like it when it's planned. I hate it when it's planned.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
It doesn't make it more.
No, it's not.
It's like if I know, like let's say we ain't had sex all week and I planned a date for next Wednesday. My mind is ready for next Wednesday, bro. And I'm waiting and I'm
Mine's
excited.
planned.
I'm waiting
It's always
for
planned.
next
No, I'm just
Wednesday.
kidding.
Nah, I like the spontaneous shit. That's when I
cool
know you're
too.
That's when I know you're turned on. There's
Yeah.
something that I
Yeah,
did
there's
that turned you on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. Planned, I would say, I guess, given the circumstances that you're in, you would have to plan it.
No, a girl can still plan that. Easily, a girl can plan that.
You think so? I mean, obviously they can. You can do what you want. You know what I mean?
You just gotta set up the trick. Hey, we're gonna go out to eat, and then when you're on the way to eat, that's when you'd be like.
Well, and I think in the back of your head too, you're like, oh, okay, something is going down today.
Well,
you know?
what I'm saying is that planned in the sense that you get so used to each other's routines every day, right? If you're living with the person already, you get very in tune with each other's routine. That at some point, you have a busy lifestyle, you're working a lot, whatever the case is. That then it's like, oh, well, maybe let's do it tomorrow. That to me is like, nah, bro. Like, exactly, right?
Let's do it tomorrow.
Wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, no. So it's like,
I'm not gonna want it now.
that's what I'm saying. So when you're so in tune with each other's lives, and this is why I feel like a man can't program himself to a woman's life. The woman has to program herself into his life. The reason I say this is because for you to have been with your man, there was some level of attraction at the beginning. You found him to be, very productive, very motivational, very in tune with himself, ambitious. The moment that a man it programs himself into a woman's life, he loses that because what is he doing? You guys are having dinner, watching a TV series. You know what I'm saying? You guys are catering to her. And this is where I think it's also very important for a man to keep his social network with his friends, his guy friends, okay? Because all this, again, it builds that attraction and it carries the attraction into the relationship. Because the moment he loses his friends and he focuses just on the relationship, women say they want that, but that's not what they want. In reality, that's not what they want. They want a man that they were attracted to from the beginning. And once they lose that, you lose the attraction, and that sex ain't really coming out like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like it's
Can I
make
speak
sense
on that a little bit?
Yeah, sure, of course.
So I personally think that you said that I guess a woman has to make sure that they what would you say in the beginning, cater or
program
themselves to so basically get used to their man
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it's vice versa though. You know what I mean? Because you can sit here and say all day that we women have to program themselves to a man's certain lifestyle, but it's like obviously we were doing something too for them to be attracted to us. You know what I mean? And I think it kind of
what attracted us to you.
it sounds crazy, but it's true.
No, 100%.
It sounds crazy, but it's true.
To keep that attraction, I guess, you guys have to be in sync too.
Yeah.
So it's like after years, relationships change. Obviously, if you're dedicating a time to somebody that you want to be with every day, like I said, I'm not saying that guys have bad days, but if you truly want to be with that person, I'm not going to say like you cut off friends completely. I think it just naturally kind of comes, you know what I mean? Once you want to spend your time with this person all the day, every day. I'm not saying like, we can't go out with friends or anything. I'm not saying that, but it's like naturally you just you guys sync and like nothing really matters between you, like around other than you guys being together. Yeah,
well, a guy can be in that comfort bubble with his woman and can still be ambitious, can still be a predator, right?
Yeah, no,
but what
sure.
I'm saying is a lot of the average Joe kind of guys who don't really have much going on for themselves or whatever, and they just get so in tune into a woman's life.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
And
that's
then that
when
becomes their obsession.
Exactly.
And then they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if it leads to sometimes men don't take care of themselves whenever they just come into tune with
it.
You know?
I think it's finding a balance.
Yeah,
Balance
of course.
between both.
Of course.
Isn't like, because like for me, I have a balanced life with my spouse. Like we both kind of like get in tune with each other's routines and our day to days. Of course, well, for me, again, it's just saying, I think they just find a balance in between the
Yeah.
relationship. Every relationship is different, though, too. I just want to respect everyone's relationship on that, because everyone's different.
Yeah.
But for me, it's always just like communicating and finding a balance on that.
So would
Yeah,
you say that, okay, like think about it. This is for both y'all. Would you say that y'all's relationship is a little bit more catered to what your man wants and is allowing him to lead the relationship?
Yeah, I
So
would
that
say,
goes
yeah.
into like what he said there, which is you're gonna fit yourself into his life and the way his lifestyle is, and then once you fit your way into that, you've gained his trust. For him to give the pushback on, okay, now that you've earned my trust, let me give you what you want now. Let me give the pushback. Okay, your schedule's like this. I'm gonna go work around that a little bit as well. I'll give the pushback there. But initially, it's you're fitting your way into his life.
I don't agree with that,
I don't know.
honestly.
You just said yes.
Well, okay, well, I wanted
No, you
to.
did.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I agree to an extent, but
Uh-huh.
it's like not. I feel like I don't have to fit my way into their lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm just not understanding or.
I mean, it kind of is like you're fitting your way into his life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like you've fit your way
get-
into each other's lives. Cause
Yeah,
when
not just
well,
one-sided.
Nah,
yeah.
but-
No, I said it is both ways. But
Yeah.
I said initially you're trying to fit your way into his life, and once you've gained his trust and he realizes you're not just another promiscuous girl,
Okay,
now
I get
I'm
what you
gonna
mean on
push
that.
back
Okay.
and give you what you want, and I'm gonna cater to it. Okay, you're off that day. I'll make the accommodation this time instead of you always making the accommodation. Is what I'm referring to.
So
At the
do
initial
you
beginning.
think it's like always better for us women to try to always
Yes.
first do it?
Yes,
You
I
know?
always try to like we're saying. It's like you work your way into
Well,
our lives.
well, the
and
thing
we'll
is,
go
the
work
thing
us
is
after that.
to this point, right? I feel like it's a man's job to attain, right? Attain the relationship. I feel it's a woman's job to retain it,
Yep.
right? Because most of the time, I mean, most women are not going to date an average dude or someone who's not ambitious or anything like that. But you're dealing with a guy who is in that 10%. You know, we always bring this up, but you deal with a guy who's in the 10% who is of value, right? He will attract. Now it's a woman's job to keep him, right? Because if he's of that caliber, he's got options everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And if you were to walk, what's to say you can't find someone else, right? Now, a woman can be the same way, right? A woman can definitely, like, she's got her
I was gonna
options.
say, let's flip it. If a woman
Yeah,
has
woman-
a lot of options, it's our job as the man to first get her from the rest of the men.
Yeah.
And then it's up to her job after that to try to keep me right here without the rest of the men coming around. Because we already know the rest of the men are going to come around.
Yeah.
Keep coming around.
No, of course. I think women should definitely humble themselves, because sometimes I feel like we tend to get a little bit. And I don't want to step on any toes, but sometimes women, you know, they tend to.
No, you should step on some.
Yeah,
I
100%.
don't, because everybody's different. Everybody has different personalities. Everybody views. You know,
Yeah,
they have their
yeah.
own perspective of the way that they portray themselves. You know what I mean? But I definitely think that sometimes we should humble ourselves a little bit more. Realize that, yeah, sometimes financially some women do have a little bit more and they can provide for themselves. But at the end of the day, it's good to have just your safe space with your man and know that he will always be there for you at the end of the
Exactly.
day,
Yep.
you know? And you guys contribute together. Even if a woman does make more money, view it from the man's perspective too. Like, you know, that he could be completely fine with that, but just contribute, you know what I mean? Share with each
Yeah.
other, you know?
Oh, we got some questions.
What's going on here?
We got some,
Yeah.
So real quick. So turn this stuff.
The paradox of yin and yang.
So Nancy said, "Just wash my makeup. Waiting to cringe later, guys. What are your thoughts?"
Ready to cringe later. You
I
know
didn't
what?
hear that,
Look,
I'm
you know
sorry.
what? Hold on. I'm gonna make a quick statement. Take it as it is, right? Do you guys know the difference between a desired woman and a woman of demand? And I will tell you
probably not.
the difference between the two. All right. A woman who's desired, either they display themselves a certain kind of way and they're wanted, but they're wanted in the wrong in the wrong way, right? They're not taken serious. And these women who are desired are women who are promiscuous with how they walk, how they carry themselves. their social media, their appearance, because a lot of the times now you look at a woman's social media and it tells you everything about her. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me go on over to a woman of demand. A woman of demand is a woman who can carry three things: who is cooperative, smart, and agreeable, right? Now, you can't have just two of the three or one of the three. That just makes you a woman of desire. Mm-hmm. Whereas a woman of demand, carrying all three makes you a high value woman, right? And so, again, a woman who's desired will have certain perceptions on their social media, have naked photos, you know what I'm saying, bikinis, all that, which I don't have anything against. It's cool, but it's not for me, right? A woman who is of demand is a little more low key on how she presents herself. Her stories are not at a club every weekend with a different guy, out, you know what I'm saying, out and about, different locations, different cities. So again, that comment right there, you know what I'm saying, Nancy, what do you see yourself as? A woman desired or a woman of demand?
I could answer it.
Pull up the Instagram.
I could answer it.
Pull up the Instagram, dog.
I really
Dang,
forgot what he
you
said.
were talking to me right there.
Totally
He's talking
I
to
really
you when
did
he's
forget.
All love, Nancy. All love. Much respect.
Okay,
All right.
Nancy has another question. She's like, to the girlies, do they respect men who make less?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Lonewolf.
Oh, that's tough. Respect
question.
a man who makes less.
Let's say you make 80 and he makes 35.
I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't respect him in any other way. Just it depends, because like if he carries himself really well and is just, you know, struggling with this job and he just can't seem to climb through the hoops, like I could see, I would feel, it's not that I wouldn't respect him. I would just try to get his perspective on why he's in that position. On another hand, it's kind of like, you know, I worked my way from the bottom, you know, like I started off, you know, making 15, and now I worked my way up that ladder, and I definitely dedicated myself to like my job. And so now I'm making 26. I mean, it's not, I would say it's average, you know what I mean? Like I'm very comfortable. So it's like, why haven't you climbed that? Or like, what haven't you done to be successful to, you know, kind of like climb the ladder, you know what I mean? You got to make something of yourself.
I guess the easiest way to say what you said is that you would be okay with it, but as long as he has ambition to want to go more.
To want to do more.
Correct.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yes,
to do more.
I do agree on that, because like this might be an unpopular opinion for some women, and that's going to be okay.
It is. They just don't want to accept the reality.
All
of what the
women
truth is.
really do want is a man that's also going to be better than them.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
of
Y'all
course.
do.
Oh, 100%.
We
Thank
do.
you.
I'm
Glad you said
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you.
Like you
And
can't
Nancy,
carry.
No.
Goodness,
Correct.
your man has
Yeah.
got to be better than you, and you're like, no, we're equal. No, you cannot be equal with your man, because what else is he going to teach you if he knows everything that you know? No, he needs to know more than you.
Well, she got something else to say. Wait.
She has something to say.
Wait.
No, that's what it
Wait
is.
a
That's
minute.
the truth. That's the truth, though. It is. And
No, you
again,
can
it goes
always
back to
you can
accepting
always
it.
see your man equal. Yes, you can, but to an extent, you know.
Yeah, because you don't want to be higher than him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be higher than them. So there's no equal balance. I mean,
Equal
there's
as humans.
it's straight up like there. Okay, look, you bring value into the relationship. He brings his own value into the relationship, right?
Yeah.
He brings his value in the sense that he's a protector, provider. You know what I'm saying? He makes you feel secure with with your future, with him. And your value is protecting his spirit, being that emotional support, you know what I'm saying? And being there for him.
Yeah.
And being loyal. Now, a lot of people say loyalty can, and it's not about cheating or none of that shit. It's about if he was to lose everything today, are you still going to be there with him through
Correct,
it?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how you can show your value to your man.
Oh,
right?
I agree. I totally agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well,
That was
big
really
on
good.
respect though too,
Yeah, that's
because like
respect.
one thing
Oh,
I've
for
learned,
sure.
one thing I've
Yeah.
learned in my relationship is men like really demand to be respected.
And
Besides the loyalty,
This actually brings me to my question, right? What do you think that your partners prefer? Love or respect? Which one would they put up top?
respect. Respect.
I would say respect.
100%.
Yeah, respect for sure.
Nah, they're in tune. They're in tune. They're in tune. Yeah.
Well, it's because like, okay, respect is, I think is on both of our top priorities,
Yeah.
honestly, because I mean, I'm guilty of having a shit attitude. Like I can, I come home. I'm not saying it's right, and I've definitely apologized whenever I am in the wrong, for sure. But respect each other is definitely top priority, because if you get a shit attitude from your partner, it's kind of like you guys kind of go back and forth, and then until one apologizes, and has to be that person to be like, you know what, I was wrong. I'm sorry I treated you like that.
Accountability. I think
accountability. Yeah, that is so
super
good.
important.
That's our main thing we've been trying to like stress to y'all women in general, is just the accountability of taking your delusion away. Kind of like what, I forget which one of y'all said it, but it's just like a lot of women have the ego inflated, and they just don't want to bring it down to the accountability.
You know what?
But that goes back to accountability, saying, hey, why am I thinking like that? I'm not even this top tier girl to be deserving this kind of man. Why am I trying to strive for that? Of course, I'm not going to get the.
Well, and I think a lot of women struggle with, things that from their past. They really let that kind of come in and take over their emotions. When you learn how to kind of accept what you've been through, and kind of just put yourself in a clear state of mind and realize, you know what, a simple sorry and a genuine apology can go a long way. To anybody. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship, if you're married, if you're a friend and you felt like you did something wrong. A simple apology is all you need. And I think a lot of women kind of just let it go over their head, and they get prideful. They get very prideful of what, and then it goes to their head, and it kind of is disregarded on their end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sometimes
what is
we're
that?
just wired like that,
The thing
we're
that
women.
women love to say is that women are always right. That is completely wrong. That little.
Well, no, I agree with you on that. I agree with that.
Throw the quote away.
Yeah,
Just throw
yeah.
that quote away. Women are always right. That needs to be gone now, because you're not always right. And
No,
I think
I
if you're looking
agree.
at reality shows a lot of these other women that they are not always right. Because if they were right, by the time they were 30, they'd already be wifed up. They'd be where they thought they would be by the time they were 30, with kids or with family, whatever it is. Because a lot of girls, when they're younger, they're like, yo, I want to have kids, I want to have a family. But then they look at themselves at 32, 33, and they're like, why don't I have the family? Oh, it's because you didn't take the accountability sooner to realize that you were still picking on the wrong choices all these other times.
Yeah, unfortunately it happens, but I do agree with you. Women are not always right. And that goes back to the pride thing, like set your pride aside. Just like men need to set their pride aside too. It's not just, women.
No, we're always right.
Yeah.
That's
Very
right. I would say
Spicy.
I would
No,
say
we're
that
right.
I do. I have learned in the recent years to set my pride aside. And
Decisions.
when I'm wrong,
Yeah.
I'll be like, yes, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I can't. Just
No,
back
absolutely.
down.
No,
That's
100%, 100%. But a lot of the times, men's decision making is calculated before it's made, right? And I'm not saying a woman's decision is not calculated, but they are mainly emotionally driven, where guys are put a little more logic behind it, right?
Yeah.
But I agree.
Yeah.
That you said that women are. I like that you said that men do really kind of. They're mostly, y'all are more logical creatures.
Yeah.
There you go. Y'all are more logical creatures, and women are more emotional creatures.
Definitely.
And I do take pride on that domain, because that's my domain right there.
Yeah.
I'm emotionally in tune, in tune how I feel, and men are. That's why we balance each other out, though. It's super important to understand that it's not about being equal at this point. It's just about we balance one another, and we do.
See how you flip that from saying equal to balance. That's
be
different.
balanced.
That's
Very good. That's really good.
But that's good.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
I love that. Yeah.
I like
we
that.
really
Yeah, exactly.
do balance each other out, and I feel like a lot of women kind of forget that, because everybody wants to kind of, majority of women want to be like, I'm right there with you, like, like I'm just like a man, like, and yes, you can do what a man does, like no doubt about it, but you have to understand what your role is.
Which, I agree.
And like, which is
Most
being a
girls don't
woman
know
and
their
being
role.
feminine and being soft and being
Absolutely.
caring to
Yeah.
So it kind of, do you have a question?
No, go ahead, bro.
It
I was
leads
gonna say,
me-
Let's take a shot. but-
Oh no, let's take a shot. Let's take a shot, and then we'll go into the next one. Yeah. Okay. Hey, it's been a good one so far. I like this. I like this.
no, for
yeah.
sure.
No, for
Do you have
sure.
a question as well? I need to see.
We had a few. Go on to the super chats.
So right. okay. So we got a couple we need to address.
Let's do it.
Can't even see with my glasses.
I'm dead. Okay.
Shout out Melinda.
Would they stay with their husband if they were married for 10 years and he cheated? Better for a woman to submit to your man, just do what he says or align her beliefs with his. Nancy said, I am married. My IGs definitely have naked photos, but they're tasteful.
Girl, that's okay. You know what, girl? You keep doing you, Nancy. Like, don't let any of these men intimidate you with your IG photos. You do what you want.
Yeah, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
You
no.
are worthy.
Oh, hey, Nancy, all love.
Nancy said David harbors resentment. Her favorite compliment of the year was David calling her delusional as the biggest red flag.
Cool.
Accountability. Accountability.
Let's run through the first few real quick. So the first one was, if you were in a relationship for 10 years and he cheated, would you stay?
No. Sorry. That is a big no.
Okay.
My answer is different. I'm not gonna throw away a 10-year relationship
For a good, just a quick little fling.
because we're human.
Out in
At the
Tijuana.
end of the day, I mean, again, I respect everyone. Everyone's super different. At this point, you're talking about marriage.
Yeah.
If it's
Yes.
able to, if you're able to fix it, then I strongly agree to try to definitely do whatever you can. If he's also, wanting to, because there's a reason why behind why he did what he did, and as much women, we always try to find the reason on like why did he do what he did.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't just throw away my 10-year marriage if I know that I can fix it.
Let me add a little bit to that. You guys don't have kids now, right?
No.
But let's say you have kids. 10-year relationship with kids. He cheats. Are you leaving?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say yes. I am leaving, just because
She's staying.
She's
She's staying. Dog.
No, you can't say that though. You really can't.
Like,
Wait, what did we say right before this? You are emotionally driven. In the very moment you're thinking I'm a dip, but then the next day you're gonna be like, we did have all this time together. We do have these kids. We're trying to build a family.
Well,
He did
you
all
can't
this
speak
other
for
good
her
stuff.
though. This is
No,
her.
you're right.
so
You're right.
let-
I'm not
so let me
speaking
go
for her,
back
but
and
I'm just like.
I'm definitely gonna throw like this is my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not. So it depends. Like you said, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Like why did he cheat? Like what drove him to cheat? My thing is, it's like you guys took vows in front of each other. At the end of the day, like, yeah, there probably may be a reason as to why he was driven to cheat, but if I had stayed faithfully strong in the relationship, and I would be hurt, I just couldn't look my partner in the eye and forgive that.
Actually, I'll take that question a little bit more further back into it and kind of consider, because I like how you said that. You just said vows, like marriage.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a relationship, I do feel like, try to do your best, but like the cheating should kind of already stop when you are like giving that promise to like, hey, I promise to marry you.
100%.
So it's okay before you get married?
No.
That's what she says.
But that's where trust comes in, and you have to trust this person. And then, in the beginning of your,
I'm all for that. Shit,
whenever you get serious, like on a serious note, you're like, okay, man, this is kind of going somewhere. I'm engaged. You need to set those boundaries. Like at the beginning of your actually when you're getting serious, you have to set boundaries, because if you don't, the other person doesn't know what triggers them. And then, of course, women, again, basing, ourselves off emotion, we kind of tend to be like quiet and we won't say anything, and then it blows up. You know what I mean? I can speak for myself. I get very in a shell, and it's hard for me to sit there and and speak up. So I think setting those boundaries so you don't get to the point where he does cheat, and he knows your limits. He knows, like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. That's not cool. So that's just my take. But I'm sorry, but I will leave.
I will still pray on it. I know.
Pray on it. Gotcha.
Because like you really kind of have to do, because like vows are kind of different. You're in a 10-year relationship. It's like,
with kids.
With kids or without kids. Are you wanting? Can you go through? Can you fix it? Do you believe in your heart? Do you want to fix it? Does he want to fix it? It's kind of goes both ways. Yeah. It's not just me. Do you want to fix it? Do you really want to fix it? Like, are you really, was it just something that was just in the moment,
Yeah.
Or what is it?
I would say to your point, right, that what led a man to this, right? I would say a lot of the times men feel like they've been forgotten. Like their attention is no longer there for them. I feel like the woman has gotten too accustomed to a certain lifestyle, whatever the case is. Yeah, and they feel forgotten.
I'm gonna stop you there. That shows you're weak.
No, I mean,
sorry.
no.
I'm sorry.
But let me tell you this. Now, again, in the perspective of like the modern day dating relationship, all that good deal. A lot of the times that's why men do cheat, is because they either feel like they're not getting the attention at home, right? But look, and here's where that goes into a different area, right? Where if you're dating someone of high caliber, a high value man, and he's built his way up his whole life to get where he's at 10, 5%, 1%, you know, for him to cheat, a lot of the times is he's out on a trip with his boys. He's probably never going to see that girl again. There was no emotion involved. You know what I'm saying? And we can still come back home and love you the same. Whereas even better, exactly, right? Because
That's horrible.
No, it's not.
That is a horrible
No, not
way
at all,
to
not at
view
all.
that
And
situation.
so this is where, like, now if a woman was to cheat in a 10-year relationship, 100% of the man's leaving.
Yeah, it's done.
Because it's very different. You won't sleep with a man you're not attracted to.
And emotionally invested in.
Yeah.
You said you won't sleep with a man that you're not attracted to?
Yeah,
A woman won't sleep with a man they're not
So you're
attracted
saying
to.
that a man will sleep with a woman that he's not attracted to, so
Yeah.
he'll lower
Yeah.
his
There's-
standard.
yeah, I mean-
Yeah, because it's just sex. For
Yeah,
us.
exactly. It's just
Y'all,
no
not
emotion
just
involved.
sex
That's
for
so
y'all.
bad.
It's
That
not
is
just
so
sex for
horrible.
y'all.
No, I don't want to speak too, like, I don't want to get too into detailed on that,
Why
but
not? We should.
but honestly, the cheating, like, I kind of have to disagree on that with you. For, you know, do women cheat just because, you know, they're emotionally attached? No, maybe some women also have a mentality of a man. Like, they're just probably...
There's women out there like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have to be
Those are for the
realistic, you know?
streets. Those women are for the streets.
Well, they're for the streets
then
to an
what is
extent,
a
but the
man
thing
if
is,
he
a
does
man,
that?
exactly.
You can't compare.
You can't
the
compare.
women.
You can't compare.
We're definitely okay. So, like she said, we're very different creatures, but we balance each other out. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But like I'm saying, you're 21, you're 19, right? You're young. I'm sorry. Yeah, some people get into relationships, but you're wild and free. You know what I mean?
A man
You're-
demands respect, but how can we respect y'all if y'all are weak in that kind
Because-
of sense? In that kind of sense, I'm sorry, but like
Through
how-
their hard work, through their stress in life, through the people that respect him and him respecting himself.
How is
Yeah.
that respect going out of your relationship?
Because that's how we. Okay, we.
You keep saying that that's how you're wired, but why try not to rewire yourselves into not doing that?
It just depends. Like, I mean,
I don't know if
communicate
it's about
so it doesn't get to that
Correct.
extent. You know what I
Correct.
mean? Say like, hey,
Communication.
you know
There
what?
it goes.
We need to do something to balance each other out. I'm not feeling. I don't want to get to this extent. Bring it up and talk instead of going out and. I mean, we're basing this on a 10-year relationship with
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot, you know, to put in a man's thoughts to even. It doesn't matter. Given I can be dead drunk, and you know, I hate when people use the excuses like they're so drunk they don't know what happened. That's a lie because I can be so hammered. I know exactly what I'm doing if I'm that drunk. I'm sorry, but I do. I know who I'm going home with. I know who I am speaking to. I may not remember the conversation, but I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I do agree on that because I've been in situations where
It's like,
I'm
yeah, this is
yeah,
not
like,
right.
this
It's
is-
intuition. Like, I should
correct.
not be here.
Yeah.
This is not leading to something good.
Look, to
I may
answer,
be sloppy, but let me get the fuck out of here. You know? Like,
to answer
No,
the question,
okay.
it all depends. Do you want to? Does he want to? Do y'all want to fix it? Then yes, go ahead and fix it. If
I agree with
you know,
that. I agree with that. We can agree with that for sure. All right, there was one question in there. Oh yeah.
Question.
Okay.
What question do you have?
Go to Marco Moreno real quick. Go up.
It's a,
There you go.
yeah, right there.
That's a good one. What's the benefit of a guy getting married compared to being in a relationship? What benefit does a man have being married?
That's a good question.
ooh, that's a good question.
Marco, good question.
I'll actually have you answer that because I know you're married. I mean, I'm just in a relationship. I know it's common, but you're actually in a marriage.
So I think it's man, I will say marriage is so good. I will say that there are so many struggles, but the benefits of it, of being married versus being in a relationship is being in a marriage is, you know, that you can count on this person. There's hundreds of people that get married just to get married. There's very few that kind of experience like this. It's going to sound corny, but a twin flame where, you know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you argue with somebody, how much you guys disagree on, you can always work through it together. And, you know, there's times where sometimes with my husband, with Brian, I'm just like, you know, like, but
Everybody.
at the end of the day, like, you know, you have that comfort. And, you know, like once you combine finances, you're like, okay, man, this is getting, you know, we're seeing what we we spend. You just have that lifelong like partnership. You know what I mean? Like you really do have that lifelong partnership
ride or die.
The ride or die. Like seriously.
You actually make me want to get married.
Oh, I don't sense it. Whatever. But I mean, I guess being in a relationship, marriage is just, it takes it to another level. You're sharing bank accounts. It's finances is a big thing in a marriage. You guys get to see like what you're spending money on together. Yeah. How much money can you save? What are your goals with that financial thing? A relationship opposed to that, it's kind of like, oh, you know, yeah, we're not on a deeper level like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know? So
okay.
That's just my take on it. But
well, when you're married, you get more than just a relationship. I do believe that. I know I'm not married, but you really do get, it's like I said, I know it's super cliche, like that ride or die, like this person's willing to go through hell with you, and like you're committing to like, hey, like whatever happens, like that's where it goes in like cheating, like, hey, I'm willing to just, like, let's work it out. Like, let's do what we got to do. Or, like, let's help each other out in whatever we can. Like, we got this. Like, you're never going to be alone, you know, at that point. Because we're tied together forever. Whatever you're going through, guess what? I'm there, you know.
See, that's a feminine side coming out. And we don't hear that too often.
Yeah. In a relationship, you're more like, okay, we're in a relationship. Is this person even promised? You know, is
you're kind of like, oh, am I getting interested in somebody else? Am I getting tired of seeing the same person?
Yeah.
You're keeping your options open, you know?
Yeah. And this is, I know y'all didn't ask this question, but I do feel like women kind of really need to, and man, I'm going to go against the government right now.
Fuck, okay, yeah. No, let's go.
I don't agree with
feminism.
There we go. I like that. There we go. I don't agree with it either. No, we don't.
Feminism.
Don't listen to him right now, okay?
That feminine movement
has to go. It's gotta
go. Actually, this might not be, because I don't want to like disrespect anybody that's, you know, either Christian or not Christian, but not getting married underneath like the government.
Oh,
really
yeah.
Like to me, like that's something. I don't want to disrespect. Like, if you are, no, but
I'm just trying to figure out like government. Like, what do you mean?
Like
under the state, under you know, getting married under the state, and just getting married at the church. Just church,
or church, or even something intimate. Like I spoke about this with my partner, and I let him know I don't want a wedding.
Yeah.
I want a marriage.
Yeah.
Like I want for us to. It doesn't have to be with family. It doesn't have to be a big party. It doesn't have to be it's about you and me promising each other that, like, under God, like, hey, like, this is it. I'm gonna find you. I'm like, we're in this lifetime, and I'm gonna find you in the next.
That is so beautiful. Oh, I love that. Like, no, I totally agree with you. Like, spiritually, like, it's just another. It's and I will say that I did have the big wedding. We kind of, you know, we spoke to each other before the wedding, and we wanted something a little bit more intimate. Given the family circumstances, Brian's mom's in a nursing home, so it's kind of I wanted her to be there. I wanted her to experience that, you know? And so, but if, you know, that wasn't the case, we would have totally eloped.
Oh,
yeah, my thing is like, dude, we would have got married in Vegas and did like the whole crazy photo shoot. But I totally, dude,
you crying yet?
We're trying not to cry right now.
You crying yet?
Yeah, we try not to cry right now.
Trying to mix it up. Stir things up right now. What do you guys say?
Man.
What you guys say?
Hey, listen, I'm very into all this emotional shit. This is
it's
just, but women don't deserve that side of us men yet.
Who hurt you?
Nobody.
Who hurt you? Because damn.
Yo, if
Damn. Seriously.
No, it's just
damn.
No, but it goes back to that. You gotta earn that. You gotta earn the sweeter side of dating.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna be addicted.
David, I'm so sorry, man. Whoever
Nobody, yo, I'm good.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm the sweetest sweetheart there ever is. I'm a fucking cancer.
I'm just
do all
kidding.
the extra shit.
Oh, you're
like,
we can.
Danny knows. Danny knows what I did, yo. No, Danny knows.
But I don't really believe in astrology
Me
like
neither,
that.
girl. I can't do that.
You know, sometimes people ask me at work and they're like, "What are you?" And I'm like, honestly, I really don't know.
Yeah.
We're not worried about
at
that.
my dates. I'm like, I guess. I mean,
all right, I got two questions.
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Questions. What we got?
It was in
Oh
tune.
my goodness.
Yo.
It's just, see, she's not in tune with herself.
Damn. Hate her.
So it's okay. But here, I got two questions. All right. I have to ask this.
Go ahead.
Do y'all have promiscuous friends?
Hey,
that's a real answer for
I knew it.
I really want to know.
Say that again?
Two, do you have promiscuous friends? And two, did your friends change when and throughout the process of you being inside your relationship?
If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have friends. I think,
Before or after?
No, definitely before. Like, I had really good friends, and I will say we just kind of outgrew each other. We were just in different phases of life. I wish them nothing but the best. But, when you're married, you create a life with your partner, right? People outgrow each other. We're adults. Like, I'm 28, I'm close to 30. My husband's 36. And it's like, it's kind of, obviously you have to have some kind of friend balance. But at the same time, you do outgrow people. And it's kind of like, we're just on different paths in life. Everybody kind of does their own thing. And if that means like outgrowing, you wish them nothing but the best. But, you just got to continue to water your grass. Like,
Okay.
That's my take on
it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your grass.
I don't have promiscuous friends, but
Okay.
I do have friends, of course. Do they have an influence? No, they don't. I mean,
I didn't ask that, but it's cool. Keep elaborating.
Well, but yeah, no, like kind of influence in anything. Like, no, not on me or in my relationship.
Yeah.
There's separate.
Yeah.
There's a balance right
Then
there.
those are not real friends, honestly.
They're
not.
No.
They're
Did
very
you lose any friends throughout the process of your relationship? Just because, like she said, like you were more lined up on being in a relationship and they were kind of like a little promiscuous. So you were like, oh, you know what? I kind of don't want to hang out with them so much because they're always trying to be in the street, in the club or whatever it is. So you're like, I kind of want to go away from them. And it's like she said, you just grew away from them. Was there any friends like that?
No, when I met him, I didn't have any friends. He was my only
Dang,
friend.
so y'all sound like the same.
promiscuous friends.
He
No
was my
friends.
best friend. Like,
Yeah.
to this day, he's my best friend. But I actually gained friends when I got with him. I was like,
That's awesome. Yeah.
I gained
Yeah.
with his friend group. The girls, they were just amazing.
Yeah.
And like just also work and stuff like that. But I'm careful on who I choose to be friends with.
Yeah.
you know?
That's good. That's good
As
because
the older you get, it's
yeah.
hard to be friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
it
for
really
sure.
is. Because you're very
you start weeding out the
selective on
ones that
who
are
you
not.
hang out with.
For sure.
That's my take on it.
Yeah.
Single friends who are promiscuous tend to keep each other single, right? There's that influence between, having single friends. They're in your ear too much. You should do this. You should do that. Where I feel like where a lot of women fuck up, and I would say this, right, that women put out their business out there, not only just between you two, but also your friends or her friends, her family, and all that. Once they start getting involved, too many voices in their ears. Yeah.
But I think that's where you, as a person, need to
Set the boundary.
set a boundary and like.
Speak up for yourself.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
or just don't
Yeah.
take it. Don't take their advice because,
Yep.
you have to understand,
Like-
no one's gonna know your partner better than you. You can
Yep.
go and sit here and tell your friend, like, "Hey, this is what's happening. Like, this is what's going on." And yeah, okay, great. They're gonna give you their own opinion and their own advice, but they're gonna give you an advice to where they think they know him.
Yep.
But it's like, no, you don't. Like, I know you're giving me this advice, but it's not like I know him better than anybody. Like, you
Yeah.
know your partner, and if they're being influenced by their friends, that's them.
Yep.
They're their own person. You're an
Very
adult.
true.
Like,
Yeah,
you can
you're
either
an adult. Yep, I like that.
either take it or you don't. But I mean, I always don't. I don't take it if I feel like it's not going to benefit me or going to make me a better person or grow. I'm not going to take your advice. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, I'm my own person. I make my own decisions, and I feel like if women are, doing that, then
They're not good people
Yeah.
to hang
Yeah.
yourself or surround yourself with.
Yeah.
It's
or you're just not fully. You're not developed. Like, I mean, you're not grown. You're just always
Yeah.
letting people influence you, or
you.
just
Yep.
like talk your
Yeah.
ear and just like make your own. Like, you're not in control of your own life at that point. You're letting other people make your decisions.
yeah,
Like,
I like that.
Well, that breaks
Very
me to
true.
my next
Go ahead.
question. Oh, real quick, before my next question, go up a little. Where's the other guy where he say, no, it's down. I think my bad. Sorry.
I
Right?
like
Emmanuel,
that.
I think it was.
No, he said something about a little bit further.
I saw that.
Emmanuel, here it goes. He said, when I hear guys talk about cheating, it kind of sounds like I deserve it. I think it is a dangerous door to open. When does a man have the right to then?
The right to cheat?
I guess the right to cheat. I would say
When you're a millionaire
in my personal
and
opinion, I would say
Wow.
I would say don't cheat, but just let the other person know that
Yeah.
there's probably gonna be other people.
Yeah.
Because now you're being honest.
You're
about-
communicating.
That's
Yeah.
transparency.
You're like,
and,
okay,
and
this
now
is
you're
something-
communicating. It kind of
Yeah.
goes back to what I said. It's like, would you rather a guy be upfront with you and tell you, hey, there's gonna be other women, or do you want to find out 2 years later that there was other women the whole time?
dude.
How do
It's
you
a
get
hard
better?
choice.
Well, how do you put that, and how do you act like it's like,
It's
hey, we're
pretty
married,
simple.
and I'm just gonna.
No,
like,
it's not we're married. It's
or-
like you got to lay it out. It's like we're saying, if you're in that upper echelon of men, there's a lot of women that want to talk to you. So if you're going to want to be next to my side a lot of the time, then, you know.
It's going to
have
come
to
with
go,
bullshit.
It's going to come with some other bullshit.
Well, then
I'm
you let
letting
her
you
know. Yeah, exactly.
I'm letting you know
let
in
her know right
advance.
then and there,
So
and be like,
to answer his question,
yeah.
I would say there's probably not a right to cheat, or there's not a right or wrong to cheat, but
Just communicate it.
just communicate beforehand.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be interested in other women as well, but I will have you as the main thing that I always wanted.
God, that's horrible. I would
I
not
know,
want to be in that
ouch.
position.
I think you say that until
No,
you're in a
I'm
position, you're like, you know what, maybe this is not so bad.
I would never lower my
David,
standards
what
like
ki-
that to put myself in that
I'm just
position
telling
at
you.
all.
I'm just telling you.
Like,
I
you have
think-
to have some
yeah.
kind of like value
Everything's
as a
different
woman
as
to
you-
yourself. Like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna be like an option like that.
I
you know?
think a
Correct.
woman. I think it's acceptable for a woman to turn the eye if they're dating a man of high value. Where a guy who's below average has nothing going and a woman stays. That's really on the woman, right?
I think I've heard you on other podcasts say that, but it's kind of, to me, it doesn't. Again, respect your opinion. That's
of
you.
course,
You know,
yeah.
you know, as me as a person, I just don't see it that way. Even if you're a millionaire or if you're a person that's broke, I'm not going to just allow you to, you know, not respect. There goes again, respect me. You
Yeah.
know, like a guy wants respect. Why can't we also want that as well as
Yeah.
ourselves? Like,
I agree
either
with that.
you have money or you don't. If you do have money, I'm not just going to turn the high and just be like, okay, just because you have money, I'm going to allow you to continue disrespecting me. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think that's cheating, but it goes back to what I said before. I said if I let you know there's other women, then
Yeah.
it's completely different. It's a completely
But
different
there you
atmosphere.
go. Like, and you're communicating. So either
Who
I
was
have
the guy that
decision-
answered the or asked the question? Who
Yeah.
was his name?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. There you go. That he answered your question for you.
Yeah, I guess don't cheat, but just let them know you want to talk to other women.
We got another question from
It's just weighing out your options.
from
in a sense.
David Ryan.
Dude, what?
Brian
Are women
David.
jealous of their friends' healthy relationships? Yeah. So Brian, that's exactly what we just talked about. You know, having single friends who are promiscuous tend to like influence one another. And
Yeah.
you know, the moment that you're mad at your partner and you go to your friend, your promiscuous friend, what is she going to tell you? Oh, fuck that guy.
Okay,
Right?
Nancy, to your point, you said why not choose a, I don't even know how you say that shit, polygamous? I don't even know. You know how to read that?
Choose a polygamous, polygamous
I know what
relationship.
it means. I know what it means.
Oh,
Ugh.
hey, Mel.
That is true. That is true. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Why not have polygamous-
You're right,
should-
though.
Yeah.
You're right, though. But
Yeah.
if you're wanting
If that's
that
what you
relationship-
like,
if you're
then
wanting
go
that
for that.
relationship as a
Yeah.
man, it's gonna take
Find a
longer
woman
to
that
find the
wants
women that
that, you
want
know?
that. See,
Yeah.
it's literally
Yeah.
what that is. So you are like, no, that could never happen. But yeah, you just have to find the women that are okay with that.
Yeah.
Situation.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you put in that sense, because there are women that actually do like that.
They
and they're
do,
okay
yeah.
with that, and you know they're more up to that. It's a lifestyle.
It's a-
It's
yeah.
it's a lifestyle.
I don't know,
You had a
man.
question? Go ahead.
I think Nancy want to come back on again, bro.
Bring Nancy back on, bruh. Bring her back on.
That's crazy. Actually, I just have dyslexia, so I can't read that great. It's okay. Nancy.
You had a
Sorry,
question?
actually, I do read a lot of books too, by the way, so it's all right.
David does.
I do read a lot of books. I'm good right now. Go ahead.
Okay. In your relationships, do you guys practice or do you guys have a strong belief in traditional gender roles? Is that something that is guided within your relationship, right? Can you say that you're full on feminine in your relationship and your partner's full on masculine?
I would say that's a good question. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that question. I definitely think that us as women, it's we should remain like feminine. You know, I think that, but you have to enjoy to bring that to your man. Like, for instance, it could be little things like, oh, you know what? I want to cook for him. When he gets home, he's going to have a meal cooked. But you want to be able to do that, and that falls right back on he needs to lead. He needs to be the mask. He needs to be the leader. So that kind of like little things like that, like, you know what, I'm just going to do small gestures. Like, you know, I'm going to do your laundry. I'm going to fold your stuff and make sure it's put up. I'll put your work clothes out for you. Little things like that. I think we need to make sure we maintain ourselves. Definitely like our beauty wise, you know, because we're women, you know, we want to feel good. We want to make sure our man stays attracted to us. But you have to want to do that for your man.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, there's a sense and an urge to do that. Like sometimes I don't do it all the time, but with Brian, like, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put it could be a small gesture as putting his work clothes out for him so he's not scrambling in the morning to find it.
Sure.
It's a want.
I honestly think it's super important to keep that traditional value of a woman, feminine, and masculinity in a relationship. Of course, I think it's super beautiful. Yeah, and a lot of women don't like that, and that's okay. But like, you know, to the women that do like that, it's super important to keep that. It's something it's lost now today.
It is,
like, in today's society. You don't really see that a lot, and keep just whoever's doing it, just keep doing it. Don't.
Why do you think women are a little bit more masculine rather than feminine? What do you think the reason is?
That's a tough question.
Well, why women want to become very masculine?
Well, they naturally become that. Yeah, but why?
I really can't speak on because there's so many different ways to answer that question. Either continuous, like men keep doing them wrong and they're just like, you know what, there's just no other way to
that's true.
Or it's because, you know, they can't find that kind of man, so they're deciding, or, you know, there's just a lot of ways to answer that. But also it goes based off kind of an agenda that today
societal programming.
The government, what
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're actually trying to push that a lot. And look, I'm not saying a woman can't be like successful or, you know, just don't lose that femininity. Like, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay
to let a man take the lead a little bit. You know?
Yeah, for example, like at least behind closed doors, like let that man be a man. Like that's what they're here for. Like let him do what he
at least I would say it's got to be like literally every.
But no, because like you have to understand, like I work in property management, and the way I present myself is not masculine, but very professional. So where it's like, I definitely you can tell like there's a boss woman in me. And it's like, you know, where I'm just like, yeah, you're going to respect me regardless if you're a man or not. You're going to respect me but behind closed doors.
Yeah, and the workplace is, I get it, because you're in that role, of course, absolutely.
Like if you're your own, you're a woman that has their own business, you know, you're going to have
and that attracts men too, you know, like I work professionally at the bank, and so it's like you have to be well-spoken, you have to be professional, and you have to know what you're talking about. And obviously like that kind of, you know, it's all in your tone. And if a man sees that in the way that you carry yourself, your vocabulary, and the way that you speak to people, it's an attraction for a man. I mean, at least I think it is, you know, because if you have, I don't think a man's going to be attracted to a woman that has really poor communication skills. You know,
she's easy. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Chill, guys.
You're good.
Joking. Chill it. Sarcasm.
Gotcha.
Sarcasm. All right, I got a question. All right, what do you think? Because you guys are both over 5 years in your relationship, what do you think has been one of the key points that's made y'all's relationship so successful? And if you can, give me an example.
I think trusting, like my husband with financially, really kind of putting, you know, him telling me, you know, this is our goals, this is what we have to put aside. I would say that's a big key. So financial stability, or just financial, you know, a nest. Another thing is kind of trust. I know it's so cliche, but it's like trusting that he would never do that. You know what I mean? Or he will do, like just having that trust and just financial. Really, you know, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Well, mine's more like knowing what our wants, because like I think it's super important to keep knowing what he wants, and for a successful relationship, like what does he want, like what new, like it's kind of focusing on what like I don't know.
His vision, his goals.
You know, like, what do I
his vision, his goals. Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're allowing him to lead.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because I can also come to again, it goes with balance. You're like, look, I'm gonna say this.
Well, I wouldn't.
You know,
well, I wouldn't expect my woman to lead. Like, so you would. Yeah. No.
I'll give you that. No, because like my man does definitely lead our relationship.
There you go. Okay.
I'm gonna give them that because he does lead our relationship. But I guess what I'm trying to say, it's like his wants. Like you ask the question on like, what is it to like maintain or like sustain a relationship? It's like knowing his wants and him knowing my wants, because I communicate and let him know this is what I want, or like you know, and he'll tell me what he wants. So
well, do we got a question? Oh yeah.
So it says,
how did they meet their spouse? This is a good question. I want to know.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah. So I met my spouse on a dating app.
Oh, which one?
Tinder, sponsored by Tinder.
Damn.
Girl,
Well,
everybody
Tinder
uses
Tinder was
Hey,
hey.
tell them more about how she met him, because
right.
they should know this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I put y'all on a higher pedestal when it comes to relationships because of how y'all met and etc.
So
Just in my point of view.
The way I met him was on Tinder, and this kind of goes a little bit on me, like how getting more in tune of like me and who I am. But when I first met him, I kind of had like a guy's mentality. I won't lie. I had more of like, I always thought like a man, think like a man. That was always, you know, how I thought. So when I met him, he was just getting out of a relationship, and then I was getting out of like a situationship, that you call it. And we actually communicated. This is where I communicated with him, like saying, hey, like, I don't want to have a lot of bodies on me. Do you want to just kind of, you know,
Be my next situationship?
not necessarily, but, you know, just be the only person that, like, I sleep with. Like, you know, if you're going to sleep around, communicate with me, because I need to know, because, like, I didn't like all that. I didn't want to have my body count too high. And two, like, I just wanted to know that I'm clean, that I'm on with one person. So we did communicate with that, and we're just like, so basically fuck buddies? And we're like, yeah, just fuck buddies. And within time, we actually just grew. We grew. It wasn't something that we really thought that we were going to, because we didn't want a relationship. He just got out of one. I wasn't ready for one. And, you know, it kind of just grew into a connection that I really did not expect. And we fell in love, and, you know, we went on from there.
You got me crying.
That's so beautiful. I love that.
It was something that I did not expect. It's really, I guess, like, the best relationships are the unexpected relationships.
When was this? You said Tinder, but this was
like
when?
2017, I think.
Oh, Tinder.
This was because I was turning 19. This was like the ending of 2018.
That's what I said.
Oh, Tinder was in its prime at that time. That's crazy. Yeah, for sure.
2017.
Yeah,
I think everybody was on Tinder. They were.
But see, I just say that because if I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken. But I remember Danny telling me like it happened the first night.
Yeah,
and see, I put that at a higher pedestal
Yeah.
because we talk about that stuff of women putting out the first night and this and that, and y'all don't understand that on a men's point of view, it's not really necessarily bad because it depends on how much the attraction is to the other person and etc.
Well, you kind of have to understand my mindset at that point too, because like, I mean, my mindset was
she wasn't looking for a relationship.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for a relationship.
Exactly, but then that's when it evolves for the man more.
But I will say this, was I picky on who I decided to, you know, just go ahead and just be like, let me just, you know, sleep with you. Of course I was picky on that, you know. With him, it was just more like, it was, again, this really just goes on to me. It's something about him when I met him. And it was just like, okay, like, it was also getting to talk to him because we went to the movie.
Of course.
You know, we were talking, we were conversating, my questions, like,
you have to click, you know, you have to be like on a certain level.
We clicked, and I was like, I know it was just one night, like the first night, but like with that one time, I was just like, are you honored to be my? Are you honored
to have sex with me? Yes, you're the one.
But see, look, that's cool because you're both communicating the same intention, right, with one another. And I think, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're transparent with that, cool. You know, I'm all about it.
Shout out to Ariel, because he always says you have to be intentional with your actions and everything.
You have to.
Yeah, there has to be like, you're 100% like, man.
Yeah, let's do
it. It is what it is. But I love that because it's so real, you know?
Yeah, it was.
A lot of women just don't, they kind of go around and tiptoe, but it's like, dude,
just be straightforward.
People do that.
Hell yeah.
Women do that.
I know. I guess they're just trying to like kind of be the kind of. There's women, and I get it. They're trying to have a set persona. Where
Exactly,
they're just
but
like,
girl, it is what it is. Like I did it.
We're adults, you know. We're adults.
I mean,
here.
shit. It is what it is. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so it's like.
I really did just like how like it just. Again, it just grew from nothing. I really didn't intend it to be just
I love that.
Something like I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we valued it a little bit more because we were just like, this is not what we expected it to be.
Yeah. That chemistry built. What about you?
Man, me and Brian, we social media too.
Okay.
So we met on. We kind of like were talking, and
Instagram.
I was in a situationship too at the time, and unfortunately, you know, he would message me here and there, but I will say I was really mentally checked out from that relationship for several reasons. Like it was just at times it would get abusive. And so at that, it would kind of driven me to the point where I was like, you know what, like, I'm tired of doing this, but I just didn't know how to leave. So I remember Brian would message me here and there on Instagram. Nothing came of it. And then one day, like, my boyfriend at the time just totally snapped, beat me up, and which is fine now. I'm like, I could totally, it is what it is. Like, I'm very open about it now. And for, you know, we picked up a conversation that we had on Instagram, and like from there, we hung out. We literally went to the haunted house together. And, you know, sounds so bad. Like, I had a black eye because I literally was something, you know, that happened. Yeah. And then, God, it sounds so bad. I was hanging out with him a week after that happened. But I found a lot of comfort in him. He was very mature for his age. I was 22 and he was 31. So it was just very comforting and very like a breath of fresh air. Like, it's like, it was just so natural. Now, I will say, y'all, this fool tried to sleep with me on the first night with a black eye. Like, who does that? So he literally...
That's turn on. That's what it is.
Wait, so how long did you make him wait?
Yeah.
I really don't know, if I'm going to be honest with you.
No. Third date, no problem.
Third date, dude.
Yeah, 2 weeks later, probably, bro.
I wouldn't say
2 weeks later.
It's not a big deal. We're married now,
it's not a big deal, but I really don't think it was 2 weeks later. Anyways, so so that night I was like, oh, hell no, what the hell? Like, I have a black eye. Like, is he crazy? And so I kind of was like, gave him the hand. I was like, sir, you please, like, we divided the pillows right now. Like, do not touch me. So, and then like that, and then from
that intrigued me though when it happened.
He got you back to the crib.
He slept on the couch. He slept on the couch, and I was like, you can sleep on the couch. And then, and then just from there, like she said, it just progresses, man. Like, you kind of develop a friendship. It wasn't really nothing labeled. It was just somebody that I was hanging out with every weekend, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
And we just kind of hit it off from there. Like, we had a lot in common. I think we were just both free-spirited, and we were just doing things that we like to do together as friends. And then it just progressed. And so, like she says, like and I like that you said that, you know, sometimes like it just, you're not looking for it. Yeah. I wasn't looking for that. In our friendship, we just intertwined, man. Yeah. Like, it just came of it. And that's it. Like,
all right, that leads me to my next question.
Okay, let's get into it.
Can men and women have friends inside of a relationship?
Oh,
can a woman? I'm sorry.
I said, can men and women have friends inside of a relationship?
Okay. Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm obviously speaking on the opposite sex. Obviously, I know guys can have guy friends and girls can have girlfriends, but we're speaking on opposite sexes for your partner and for yourself. Do you think that a man and a woman can have opposite sex friends inside of a relationship?
Well, I'll answer that first. You know, I don't think, no, just no, you can't.
I'm with her on that one. Yeah.
Can you conversate? Yeah, but can you like hang out or text and stuff? No. Because you're gonna eventually build
we know
up.
how us women are. You know, there's women out there that are obviously like
promiscuous.
Yeah, that can be promiscuous.
Is that the only word you know?
Call it what it is. A hoe.
It's just
call it. Hey, all right. But the other word for it is a hoe, right? Just call it what it is. So no, yeah, of course.
I
Go
agree.
ahead.
No, I just think that is. Sorry, he totally threw me off. No, girl. I definitely like that because I totally agree with you. Like, I don't think that there should be any kind of friendship. Texting wise, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're hanging out in a group setting, like I would definitely be uncomfortable if my husband went to go hang out with a friend and I didn't know. Like, there would be some problems, you know?
Yeah, even then, like, it's setting a boundary because, like, maybe the girl is not even into your guy, or the guy's not into me. It eventually builds up.
Yep.
It eventually builds up because you're either talking to them, you're hanging out with them, you're kind of like, I've seen people in couples where they're friends, you know, with the opposite sex. It's very rare, but 9 times out of 10, you know,
something happens.
Something's gonna
happen.
happen.
Having sex.
Either if it's not there, if it's not now, then and there, it's gonna be later on. Yeah. Like, it's gonna eventually happen. So I don't think so.
That's crazy.
No.
You know, it's crazy that this is like the first time we hear this, right? Because a lot of the guests we've had in the past, they say, oh, well, it's okay to have guy friends if you're in a relationship as a woman. And that's not, here's the problem with that, right? Is that a lot of these guys are just waiting in line. You know what I'm saying? They're just waiting in line for you too.
Yes, even women too, because if there's a reason why they're looking at your man,
or there's a reason why they want to pursue and hang out, without you being there.
Yeah.
Obviously, their intentions are for the wrong reasons.
And women, look, women are evil.
Women are evil. We are.
Y'all might not think so, but women are
petty. Shout out to Marco Moreno. Hey, he's been coming in the chat.
Oh, for sure. Marco, hell yeah.
He said in Europe, women don't talk to men even if they're friends because they respect their man.
Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah.
100%.
That's a lot of culture right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody
agrees.
agrees.
No.
You have to respect. Everybody's different. You have to understand that, and that's okay. Just like for me, I'm just speaking for myself. I just don't agree with that, and there's maybe some people, but eventually that friendship that you have or whatever it is, if it's a girl or a guy, is gonna eventually entangle later on, and you'll see.
Oh, for sure.
Either ask the question, be like, "Hey, dude, do you like me?" Or like, "Hey, girl, do you like me?" Like, you're gonna tell you.
I guess I could probably be the only
and
one
women can sense that though. You can sense whenever somebody's
for sure.
intentions are bad.
If they're consistent with you.
You know what's crazy to me, that like a woman can be in a relationship and her man can tell her, hey, look, I don't like you having guy friends, and they'll make all kinds of excuses to keep them. It's so crazy to me.
Oh, he's gay.
That's
like the main one they like to use, bro.
Nah.
Hey, I will say, I feel like I have a friend that's a girl that if I got into a relationship, it would be, what is the word? Poly, what is it? Where it's
polygamous, right? No, wait, what?
Polyamorous?
No,
I have no idea. I really don't know how to
sounds like a Pokemon,
that.
bro.
Nah, bro.
Polyamorous.
It's I can't even think of the word, man. But all I know is that it's just not y'all wouldn't have sex. It's just like you established the relationship that y'all would not have sex. And I have a friend like that. She's older.
Oh, platonic. There you go, platonic.
I was like,
hey, Melinda coming in clutch in the chat.
Yes, no, I have a friend that's very platonic.
Okay,
where I literally established to her, like, you could call me at 2 a.m. David, come pick me up. I'll pick you up, but I'm not gonna have sex with you.
Oh,
like,
I see what you're
I literally
saying.
told
Okay.
her that, and we understand. Hey, it's not gonna ever be that way, because even she's had situationships and stuff like that. I'm just like, all right, that's cool. Like, I'm helping through that. I'm not trying to still slide in as soon as that situationship's done. No, it has never been like that.
Yeah.
And even now, she's been out of her situationship for like 2-3 weeks, and it's not like David's not trying to slide in there, because it's like I don't want that. I want you just here as my friend. And like we can go back and forth. So even if I got a relationship, she would be my platonic friend, literally, and I would have to tell my girlfriend, hey, this is literally my friend. She'll call me. I will never give it to her. Even if she was asking, David, please, I'm drunk right now, I'm still not doing it, because it's just, that's where I'd rather keep her. Now it's completely different, I know, because girls can understand that a guy would be like, no, you're just gonna say no to sex, like she's throwing it at you. But yeah, I would want to just keep that situation there, because y'all do that all the time to a lot of guys that are y'all's friends, but they're not your friends. That's why us men know y'all can't have friends, because we know that guy's just waiting for the sliver of a chance to slide on in. And as soon as slide in,
as soon as you have an argument with your man, where you going to?
Sure,
oh, for sure.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, if you feel like you found this person, right, this other woman that you want to be with, and you would totally cut that off, though,
Fuck no. Why would I need to?
I mean, if you're
as long
really
as I'm
about
not confiding in her, then that's different. As a friend is not somebody you would typically confide in as a woman. I would say, from my perspective, I'm not gonna just.
That's okay. I respect
when
that.
I'm going through shit, I'm gonna call Ariel or somebody else.
Oh, 100%.
A better perspective.
100%.
Get me out of my delusion right now. I need to see this.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't really have like girl or close girlfriends, because I have acquaintances.
Yeah.
Right. They don't really serve me a purpose.
Nah.
Right.
Don't. Unless they're giving it up.
Unless they're giving it up. Other than that, if I need advice, I'm going to my boys. Platonic relationships exist, but it is established from the beginning. If David can have that, then why do you feel it is not possible, David?
What do you mean? Oh, because it's not possible for the women to have it on their end. And it's like I said, she's not in a relationship. She's in situationships. So, of course, I can be the friend. Yeah. And even then, every time we hang out, she's always like, David, you're the reason why guys don't want to come talk to me. And I'm just like, well, I mean, what do you want me to do? It's just we always talk and having fun. It's like, that's how it goes. If they want to holler at you, they can. I'm not gonna stop them.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot, my boy.
Well, and then like it goes kind of back. I was kind of like thinking about it. You know how you said, you know, men can also cheat with women of like they can also lower their standards to cheat. You have to understand that though too. You have like it kind of goes into that too. You'll eventually, there's going to be a time, I can't sit here and, like, I don't want to talk, you know, on that girl, but it might happen. You never know.
Yeah,
like,
actually, read that comment there. It says, let's be real, brother. If the girl was super hot, you wouldn't care.
Even if she was.
But I will say,
but you probably wouldn't just keep her as a friend, though.
If she was super
you
hot,
probably
I'd
wouldn't keep her as a friend. Yeah.
But then there you go. Like, men can also, like, kind of look, like, lower their standards and be like, all right, I'm just going to use you for, you know, as a cum rag. You know, yeah, there you go.
Basically.
Basically. Like, regardless if she's hot or not, you kind of already said it. Men don't care.
No, a lot of men don't, but
don't care.
But there are some men who have this. They have standards.
Yeah, like,
there's some, not all men, but some men do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see the lie detector.
Who's lying? I missed it.
Let's bring Nancy out for the lie detector.
Yeah.
You hit it if you should.
If she was hot, you hit it. Yeah, all right, Marissa, you're probably right. If she was like super like an 8, 9, or 10 or something like that, I would. Hey, but see, that's the thing about it is in my situations, I like to be realistic with them and I like to be realistic with myself. So I will tell them, hey, you're probably a 5 or you're probably a 6, or I'll say something like that and I'll be like, hey, I'm right here with you or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I like to be realistic. I don't just be like, oh, you're up here, you need this, you need that. No, hell no. I'll be like, you're a 5. And they won't like it, but I'm like, look, that's just the truth. And so a lot of these guys that you think that actually want you, they really don't want you. They just want you for some sex. Yeah. And you gotta quit having the delusion thinking that this fine ass guy really wants you. No, stop it. You're not even in his category. You know,
to be honest, like kind of going back to that point, right? To Marco, like I think there's actually a benefit in having 8, 9s, and 10s as friends, right? Because they're hanging around a certain group of people, group of men, right, who are probably well established, and you want to be around that network. So she'll introduce you to that circle. You start hanging out with them. So there's some benefit behind it. Personally, me again, like if I need something, I'm going to my boys, 100%.
Yeah. No friends. He's smashing. No friends.
All right.
She said they have sex with everything.
Yes.
Girl, you ain't lying.
Hey, well, listen, I think men have low standards when it comes to maybe who we have sex with in a sense, but maybe when it comes to who we want to have our partner with, it's not low standards.
For sure. For sure.
Completely opposite, because I'm very, very fucking, what is the word, meticulous on who I would want to be with. Like, if she's not adequate enough, then it'd be like, no. And then a lot of women, I seen this study where it said men and women have a lot of neuroticism, which is anxiety, depression, sadness, and etc. Women have more of that than men do. So y'all will be more down on yourselves than men will. So I would try to really find a woman that doesn't have a lot of neuroticism. Like you have to find it, because now if I can find a woman that's very confident in herself, I don't have to deal with those other sway of emotions. That is true. I agree with that. How it goes and whatnot. But that all goes back to the very beginning of being honest, transparency, intentional with how you want everything to play, and etc. But a lot of people don't like to talk about that kind of stuff.
If I have a hot girl around me, I need me a honey pack. Facts.
Hey, hopefully you shouldn't need the honey pack, my boy.
No, but you know what? No, hold on. I'm gonna give a little standpoint on this, right? The whole honey pack thing, the whole, it's not even about that you have like erectile dysfunction, right? It's not even about that.
It really. I don't even know what that means. What is a honey pack?
It's like a form of Viagra.
Yeah. It's like
okay.
Right? It's got the ingredients.
I'm so clueless. I'm like, what is that? You drink it.
No, you eat it. It's like
you eat it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then it just like gives you horny.
It gives you so it's not like directly like Viagra where it's your fucking brick hard for 6 months, right? I mean 6 months, 6 hours. Sorry, 6 hours. My bad. 6 hours. All right, 6 hours.
Okay.
Hold on. But what it does, you have in your system, you have the ingredients of Viagra. So like, it's not that you need it. It's that it's. Yeah, exactly. It's for the Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
wow,
it's for
okay.
the endurance mainly.
I see.
right?
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so
it's
thank you.
like oh,
Preparation.
preparation.
Okay, I see.
Hell yeah, you want to perform on the first night. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Performance
wow.
is
Where do you buy these?
first
You just buy them
impression
at the store or something, or like you
at the
just-
gas station.
Are you kidding me? Y'all are taking shit from 7-Eleven
I'm-
like that?
I don't-
Y'all
I'm
ever
not.
See those pills
I don't-
that they sell behind the counter?
That's the rhino pills.
Rhino
yeah,
pills,
rhino
dude,
pills.
That's
Working.
insane.
Hell
You
yeah.
give yourself a heart attack. Oh,
I mean, if you're older, yeah.
good to know. 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I think everybody should try those though. Like, just try it out. What's your signature?
How-
Yeah.
This is goes back to like she's saying.
Go
Just
ahead.
like spicing it up. Like,
Oh
what else
yeah.
can we do to
Take
spice
some.
it up
What
to
is
the
it?
next
Honey?
level?
Honey what?
Honey packs.
Honey packs. Okay,
Honey packs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear that?
Or
She's
Senafil.
like, babe, you want me to get you a
Like,
rhino?
or you can
Number
get or you can get prescribed Senafil, which is another
Or
form
actually,
of it.
that brings us to our next sponsor today,
Go ahead.
Bluetooth. Now,
Hell yeah.
that's funny.
That's crazy.
Oh, you got another one, bro?
Uh, Yeah, so I had a good one and I lost it.
it's okay. Look at your notes.
I lost it.
Hey, we'll
I don't
take
have
a
my
shot.
black book
We'll
with
take
me
a shot.
today, man.
Damn.
Let's take a shot. Let's take a
Yeah,
shot.
Let's take a shot real quick.
Let's all take a shot. It's been a damn
Real
good
quick, hey, real
show.
quick, while we're taking this shot actually goes to the behind the scenes.
Bring it, bring in the producers, man.
Let's go to the
Hey,
producer, Rob.
producers, y'all want a shot?
Damn, that's a big
Shout
Yeah.
out to
Do you see
every
that?
time.
Hey, producers in the back, y'all want a shot?
I need another.
That's like
cup.
a.
Roger,
Here, I think. Oh, okay. Here, no. Have y'all seen those?
Yeah.
That video where it's
Actually, I still have
just a
some in there.
shot and it's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
full
What is it?
on
Like a
bottle?
double shot, bro. That's-
Nah, bro, I just
I love the
read
one
it.
where
Honey pack make you go 12 rounds just like watch Mayweather fight.
You know?
The thing about like
He's
the
like,
reason people
hell drunk.
take honey packs is because for the first time, like when you're sleeping with a woman, you want to perform. You want to
Okay.
be like
I'm
a
gonna tell my dad
god
about
to a
that.
woman,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh my god, like I've never, you know what I'm saying,
It keeps them
had that
wanting
experience.
more. You're like,
100%.
wow, where
And now
did
you
that
gotta keep
even
taking
come
it- yeah.
from?
Did you buy top shelf?
Yeah.
I hope they brought top shelf.
That Nancy?
Yeah, of course, bro, of
she
course.
said that.
He said,
Yes.
honey pack makes you go 12 rounds just like watching Mayweather fight. Wow. That is some intense
Cheers.
stuff.
That is
Cheers.
some
Salute.
shit, yo.
No one in the back wants a shot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Who?
Yeah.
Who said
Bro, I
yeah?
don't know
There
if
you
I
go,
can take
Brian.
this
Let's
like
do
that.
it.
Incoming.
Come on in, man.
I'll take it with you.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna need
Yes,
a
sir.
Chaser.
Shout out to Brian. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to
Where's
Roger.
mine?
We didn't pour you.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Pour one, D.
Sorry.
I got you, bro. Ooh. That one feels
Dang, look at Brian on the camera. Look at that stud. Oh my god.
That hair.
Oh yeah.
Damn. This is for you.
You know, I
dude.
said I had a big shot. I already took
All right.
it, but-
It's just like a drink.
Salute.
Yeah, mine
I guess
goes
another
like a
we're
drink,
cheersing
yo.
Salute.
No, cheers so great.
Salute.
I enjoyed
Cheers.
really like
Hell yeah.
witnessing that.
Goodness gracious. All right, does anybody have any more questions for the ladies before?
All right, what is the occupation? What is the husband?
Ooh.
Melinda got one.
Let's hear it, Melinda.
I didn't finish this one. Ooh.
That was good. All right, who has a good eyesight? Shout out to Top Shelf.
I'm gonna take it before I leave. Oof.
What is
That's
their
pretty good.
occupation and their husband? And their husband's occupation? Is that what you're asking? Do they care what their husband does for work? For instance, do they have to work out?
Oh,
of town?
that is such a good
That is
question.
a
I
good
love that.
question.
Okay, so my husband does like fire suppression, and so his company has a contract with the city of Dallas. So basically, he fixed the sprinklers that you guys see on the ceilings.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
like for the Cotton Bowl,
Yeah.
Dos Equis Pavilion. As far just to answer your question, I think I wouldn't prefer my husband or like somebody I start a relationship with to not work out of town. I understand that some, if women sometimes are okay with that, they're okay being alone. Me personally, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like my man to be with me and come home to me every night.
Yeah.
But if somewhere along the relationship he has to go, I'm okay with that. You
Okay.
know?
No Chick-fil-A manager?
Hey,
Shit, they be
Chick-fil-A.
making money, right?
Shout out-
Chick-fil-A?
shout out to
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
making good money.
Hell yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Hey, okay,
Yeah.
now let's get to Carolina because go ahead.
Wait, what was the question? No, I'm just kidding.
What is your significant
Occupation.
other's occupation, and do they work out of town?
He's an entrepreneur and
Hey.
also a truck driver.
Okay.
And
In
yes,
other
he
words, a
Hell yeah.
high-value man.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
he
There you
is
go.
a
Hell yeah.
high, and he is a high value man for sure. But does have to go out of town, and I do understand that. Is it all the time? No, only when it's necessary. Of course, do I mind it? Of course I mind it.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't mind it? Someone that's actually like, you know, happy in the relationship, of course, like I always want him around, and it does get me sad.
Do you feel like the separation, like him not being
helps.
around?
It does, because like
It
when he
does.
comes back, he's like, oh my
There
god,
you go.
I miss you so much.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that
you know,
too.
Mm-hmm.
so I love it because, I mean, TMI, but the sex is great after.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And when he comes back,
that goes
he's
back
like,
to what I said, where you spread the sex out, then the sex is a lot more
Yeah.
anticipated. You want it, you're
Yeah,
waiting for,
yeah.
you're yearning for it. But if it's every single freaking day, it's like, it's boring now.
yeah, so it does, you know, of course, I do like it. I won't lie.
Truck drivers are cheaters.
Because it also,
Drivers are cheaters.
Hell yeah,
we're
every little,
submarines.
you know,
every-
I've heard that.
every little pit stop out in Ohio somewhere, dog.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
lizards. No, I'm just
Hell yeah. Them brothels and shit. Yeah, man. That's fun.
No, that's funny because I've heard that, and like he does make jokes about that. He'd be like, "Look, babe, I saw a lot lizard," and like if
A lot lizard?
you know, if you don't know what that
A
is,
brothel, like a whorehouse.
I don't even know what that is.
Is it a whorehouse?
A lot lizard.
They're prostitutes, basically.
No, yeah,
It- it's a whorehouse.
prostitutes. They're like knocking on. They're like, "Hey, do you want some?"
Oh yeah, at the
my
local
God,
gas
that's
station
crazy.
at like
Lowe's,
2, 3 in
at
the
the
morning.
Lowe's.
Hell yeah, at the Lowe's.
God.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
That's wild.
No, but we make
At
jokes
Buc-ee's,
about
dog.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all
We do make
busted.
jokes about it
Ugh.
and stuff. This is just too funny for me because like I went out of town with him one time, and then he was recording me, and he's like, "Look, babe," and he's like, he sends it to his friends. He's like, "Look, I found me a lot lizard."
It is
It's
you.
you.
That's
Walking
crazy.
up, and
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
funny.
wow.
Though. That is funny.
I thought it was the funniest thing, but no, I
is,
do.
that is
I've
funny.
heard that too. That truck drivers are cheaters. No, so.
But they make bank, so keep cheating if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
He's
too.
on a roll right
I
now.
know.
Sarcasm, guys. Take the sarcasm.
You sarcasm too
Take
much,
the
sir.
sarcasm.
Like, I'm
Hey.
sorry. Do you need therapy?
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's just funny. I like my man close to what? I like my man close to, but he's getting our money. I am for traveling. Oh.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, nobody asked you, Nancy.
I,
I'm just letting that shit.
yeah, nah. I used to travel a lot too, like in my previous
Hoes
relationship.
and other area codes?
I did not, but I used to travel a lot. And so to your point, right, kind of that separation does kind of bring you in when you're back home. You know what I'm saying? I feel that.
Here's my question.
100%.
What
Yeah.
is
He certainly needs therapy.
I really don't. If I took you on a first date, I guarantee you'd want a second date. But I don't want to take you on that. That is not an offer. That's not an offer. That's not an offer. All right, here's my question. What do you think attracted you to your man the most when you first met them?
Ooh, you want to go
Oh,
first?
yeah, I'll go first. He was so funny. Oh, God, he was funny. I think, honestly, if you can make a girl laugh, you got her. You got her. Like, because, like, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't the best looking person, you know, as well when I first met him, and he wasn't either. But, like, what really got to me, one is that connection that we had.
And that's
But
cap. My boy been looking good. That's cap.
You got a good
Okay,
friend
yeah,
over
it's
here.
like, he's handsome, and
I just assessed
and
him and I was like, that's false.
can I say that
That's what I'm saying. There's no way.
well, can I say he's like gotten so much better? Of course,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like as have I. But honestly, it was just his mind and how much he made me laugh too. Because like, I don't know, there was something about him that it was how he talked to me and then how he made me laugh. It's what really, really got me.
Yeah.
Like it really did.
Yeah.
I like that.
What was it that made you go from like, yeah, we're just gonna be a situationship to, yo, I think I do want to actually like be in a relationship with you?
It was a constant hanging out, of course, constantly, like, hey, like us hitting each other up, like, hey, do you want to hang out? Like, well, I was so glad that he was the one that was like actually like hitting me, do you want to hang
Pursuing,
out?
yeah.
It felt good to know that I'm not, because I understood our situation, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what it is, so I can't expect anything out of it. So he was just like, let's hang out. And I was like, great, cool. Took me everywhere, wherever he went, so it was great. But also getting to see the kind of person he is.
Yeah.
And that's what really kind of got to me, because he wasn't just a booty call at this point.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was seeing him on his day-to-day life and how he is with his mom, how he is with his family,
Yeah.
how he is as a person besides just a booty call, you know. He was like, I saw more than just that, and I guess that's what got me more attracted to him, and I caught myself because I knew then and then when I first like started, was like, damn, I can't.
Yeah. Oh, I like
So
it.
so the way he carried himself is what attracted you
Yes,
to
it
him.
was just more than just, you know, the funny. It was just how the kind of person he was, or he is. You know?
Would you also say that you were willing to adapt to his lifestyle?
To his lifestyle, yes, I will say that honestly.
Cool.
Like, yeah, because you know, it was something beautiful that I saw in him, and like the kind of lifestyle that he carried himself as well, which kind of matched me. So that's why, and I knew that it kind of fit because I knew my values and like what I want. And I kind of was just like, you know what, this is gonna go hand in hand right then and there.
Yeah. So would you also say that you programmed yourself into his life?
Yeah.
That's what I alluded to earlier.
So earlier she said, "This is where we're circling around here, full circle, baby. That's what I'm talking about."
Circling back.
Yes, sir.
Because it was basically the same. This is the same program as I was in. So what I mean is that he was very family oriented, which was beautiful. I was like, okay, so that's the kind of person that you are.
Yeah.
Great, that's me too. So that's where it goes. Where
They complemented each other.
Yes, correct.
It's not just like putting yourself into his lifestyle. It's like you guys.
She just said it though. She just said it. She just said it.
Made her point though.
Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to make it look cute. Nah, she just said
No,
it.
and I get
She
it.
said
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Because,
She confirmed it.
It like I'm gonna like because like yes I'm proud to actually talk about him and our relationship and how far we've gone and stuff like that. So yes, if you wanted, like, it is a big compliment to say that I have
That's
I
good.
have.
No,
Hell yeah, it's great.
You know,
Fuck
I
yeah.
don't
understand as a woman, you
Yeah.
say that you want to cater to the his
Hell yeah.
lifestyle is the biggest compliment because it's like we're saying you're separating him from the rest of the guys that are just whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
you
get
being
what you
able to
mean.
want to do that as a woman, which is essentially like we're saying you're submitting to him, saying I want to go in your direction. Please lead us where you want us to go. That is the biggest compliment for
Well,
me.
I guess
Y'all
the way
don't
the way
see
you put
that
it
way.
now, and then the way you put it, guys, I guess it's the way that you also ask the question as well, you know, and the way you are, you know, you're using your words as well. So if you want to, like, yes, I did. Did I adapt to his lifestyle and like who he
Well, it
was
was
and
pretty
everything?
straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know if else I would have changed it up, but you know, and you saying that, look, this is where I like kind of again going back full circle, right? This puts you in the category of a man. Of a woman of demand, right? So I was using that analogy at the beginning where I said a woman who's just desired and a woman who's of demand. You being cooperative, you being smart, you being agreeable puts you in that category.
That was all three of you. That was all three at the beginning when you were like, all right, I'm gonna do what you want to.
Full
Correct.
circle,
Yeah.
baby. Hell yeah.
Hey, what a
Yeah.
way to wrap it.
Now listen, what do you gotta say? What attracted you most to him when you first met him?
I would say just like when I first met him, I believe that we were very outspoken and we we were just talking about anything. So just the way that he carried himself too, as well as like a man, like he really, I liked that he was well spoken. I liked that we just had something in common or just something to talk about, right? Like, it was just a never ending conversation. He was funny. I feel like we I'm goofy too. Like, I know I have a goofy side to me. And so for him to kind of be interested and wanting to keep hanging out with me was just very, as a woman, you're like, oh God, you get a little bit giddy because you're like, wow, okay. Especially if it comes naturally. Like, you know, it made me very comfortable when he wanted to hang out with me and that initiation that he took. But it goes back to like naturally, like it's just you naturally, the flow is there and it naturally just comes as a couple, you know, and just for him showing his interest in the way that he carried himself was just very, he was always positive. He always had Brian always, and till this day, he's very positive. So with his outlook on life and I just loved it, you know,
because he can deal with stress, right?
He can.
Yeah. He can deal with stress and he can eliminate that feeling and not show the emotion towards you, right? So he can, you know, again, display himself a certain kind of way. It's kind of the analogy of like, look, I may be having a real shit day, but you may be having a great day.
Exactly.
And Brian knows how to eliminate that to not, you know, ruin your day and say, hey, look, I had a great, I had a shit day, but you had a great day. And then you know what? And we'll adapt to that.
And sometimes, like, of course he has his days where he's very stressed out, and sometimes it kind of, like, I try to bring positivity too. And that's where we complement each other. It's kind of like, I know you're having a shit day, but, let's not rub it off on each other.
Yeah.
So it's just like we're just getting that fresh air from each other,
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, hell yeah. That's
Hey, well,
yeah.
Nancy, if you're gonna pay for my therapy, I will gladly go. I'm not even.
Let's do it.
Let's fix some girls.
Let's do it then.
Mama Nancy, I will gladly
Yeah.
let you be sugar mama. I'm not even gonna lie.
So you're willing to be fixed.
Nah, he don't need to be fixed. What? Well, nah, hell no.
He's a great guy.
Fuck
No,
yeah.
look, I've known David for the times that I've known, like, for the
At
as
least
long
6
as, like,
years,
and he is.
What I can.
Nancy's going at you.
I was.
David thinks
How
this
did I
one-
diss you?
Can we read it out
Somebody
loud?
else read this.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
wanna
a
read it.
sassy queen.
Hey, read it,
Your
Ariel.
match.
Sure. David thinks he's dissing me. Let's be real. You the type of guy that wants princess treatment. Also, stop being mean to me. You met your match, but I'm way meaner.
Ooh, that's crazy. I actually don't want to come back. I actually, when that's when
He
you
had
come
a
on,
moment of
bring your friends
realization.
too, and we can grill them as well.
It starts with you. Much
Yeah,
love,
bring your
fam.
friends, please.
All love, Nancy. Look,
No, actually, Nancy, if you actually knew me, which you probably wouldn't, but then you would actually get to see the sweeter side of David. But I'm not going to give that to you because you don't deserve that. So why would I give that to you?
look,
You haven't earned that.
all women that are watching.
Hey, my boy, Golden Neck.
She trying to-
Yeah, there you go.
Let me
Golden Nix is
let
crazy.
Golden Wreck. Yeah, Golden. You know what that is? You know what that is? Montana, dog. It's Montana. It's my boy Montana. Look, man, all the women that are watching, I hope you guys fucking wrote shit down, took notes, did what you had to do to fucking learn this shit and program this shit into your brain. Because these women right here, I can tell you, again, just by listening to them, women of demand. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you need to be. So, go ahead.
Well,
Nancy.
maybe it's like I'm trying to create my own agenda too, because like
Absolutely.
you know how you're trying to say that women of demand and stuff like that. I kind of wanted to bring up a little something offside.
Sure.
There's a lot of men that yes, they want a woman of demand, but they kind of go for that. What did you say?
Promiscuous.
Promiscuous kind of woman, you know.
But it,
like,
okay, yeah.
Well, it's, well,
Hold on. Hey, yeah, no, go ahead.
I like to kind of like me. I like to understand men because like I told you, I've always tried to think like a man. You know.
Yeah, we have to
Always
get
try
into
think
it
like
now.
a man, so I'm kind of just trying to understand
What
like.
class is that?
Yeah, put the shades on. Let's get into this.
Alter
I'm about to
ego.
say, now we about to get into it.
Alter
Now we
ego.
about to get into it.
Oh damn!
Go ahead. What do you got? Go ahead. Finish your statement. Go ahead. Finish your statement. Go ahead. Big red gum.
Never mind.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your statement.
No, I just like kind of want to understand really like okay, y'all want these kind of women of demand, but then after like you said, there goes the cheating. Like y'all look for other kind of women of
Promiscuity.
promiscuous. Like yeah, like. Oh,
Yeah, we look for that
Me,
for
it's,
fun.
I'm trying to understand, but like you said, you want a woman of demand, but why are you out there trying to go also look for that as well? Are you not?
Women of
Because
desire.
It's because the
Content?
options are out there.
So what is desire like? Okay,
The
So-
options are there for us.
The
now.
options. The options
Y'all
are there.
y'all are born with y'all's options. We
Yeah,
can go on
we-
y'all's
we
phones
have
right
to.
now. Well, actually, maybe we shouldn't go on y'all's phones right now
Yeah.
because y'all are in relationships. But if y'all were single, y'all's options would be endless. Men don't have those options. So when you work your way to the top, those options become endless now for us. So why are we going to just give up all of our options for a woman that we don't know is the right one yet, or whatever the case is? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The same way a man getting married to a woman, for me, just doesn't make sense because it's like, what do we gain? We're gaining nothing when it comes to marriage. Literally, we gain nothing besides the satisfaction of you being happy as a woman, saying, hey, I'm finally married. I got that ring on my finger. I finally feel satisfied as
And she can show it off on Instagram.
etc.
Tell all her friends. Put it on
You gain a best
stories.
friend. You don't
Look.
gain just a person that's wanting to flaunt their
Hold
ring
on.
on Instagram. Like,
why do men do opposed to saying that? All right, I'll give you the ring to either shut you up or like what would like.
No. Hold on.
Okay.
It's not saying that we don't have emotions in that sense, right? I mean, because we do. If we run into the right girl, we're doing it. I mean,
Yeah, we're doing it.
why are we? You know what I'm saying? But if it's a woman who again is desired by everyone, right? But then you separate a woman who is, like I said, of demand, who is very low key. No one really knows much about her. Hey, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because she ain't putting herself out there like that. And so, again, to your question though, why do men tend to go for more women who are of desire than women of demand, right? I would say because you have men who are weak-minded, for one, right? And how can you tell if a man's weak-minded? How are they aligned within themselves? There's four things, right? And this, shout out to my boy Ismail, he taught me this. He's a fucking true G about this, right? But it's the wheel of life. You ever heard of it? No. Okay. There's 4 aspects a man needs to be aligned to. It's his emotional, his physical, his mental, and his spiritual, right? And those 4 things can align a man to be very decisive of what they want and be very in tune within themselves. Now, emotion can be tied in with friendships and family. How well connected are you with your friends and family and your relationships? Your physical. Are you physically fit? Are you healthy? Your mental. What are you learning? What are you consuming on a daily basis? Right? What are you learning? What are you studying? Your spiritual. What do you believe in? Religious, spiritual, right? And so all those things tie into a man of high value who's very well aligned, who will say, look, sure, I can have whoever the fuck I want because I know I'm a high value man, but this is who I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This woman of demand. So to your question again, why do men go for more women of desires? Because they're not aligned within themselves. And again, shout out to my boy, but he also kind of programmed this into my head. And it's like, your visions and your goals should be greater than your pleasures.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's for sure.
Love it.
Okay.
And that's where you would get the men that don't cheat, and they're gonna push that off to the side and be like, "Oh, you know what? I know what I like. I back at home.
I
I'm
think you
gonna
just
keep that
educated
there.
some
Boom,
men.
boom, boom."
That was a very good. What is it? Circle. What is it called?
The wheel of life.
Circle.
The wheel of
Rhythm of
life.
life. Love that.
Lonewolf.
Once I agree with Ariel, God damn. Okay.
Hey, I appreciate you, Nancy.
Yeah. Thank you
Hey,
very
if
much.
you can agree with that, then you should agree with everything else. That's literally the same shit. You
Big
just
clap
said
for all
it
pretty ladies.
differently. We just literally
Absolutely.
said it a different way.
Big clap
Big clap for the ladies.
Oh, thank you,
That's
Nancy.
feminism coming out right
We're
there.
with you, Nancy.
We're not going with that. We're not clapping for that. We're not going with that.
Thank you, Nancy.
That is for
Thank
sure
you.
feminism.
Yeah. Super sweet
Do you,
of you.
do you have anything else?
No, that was good.
That was good.
That was
So
good.
before we end the show, I always ask, what do you guys think of the show?
I thought it was really very comfortable. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I always get nervous. Like
Yeah.
all the time. Which is weird because I speak in front of people all the time. But I was a little nervous. But it flowed so good.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
thought
sure.
it-
Appreciate
I
it.
love
Hell
everybody
yeah.
have their own opinions
Yeah.
too, and we agree to disagree.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
it was really
who
nice.
says that? Low. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to Laura. Always agree to
Shout out to
disagree.
Lauren. What about
It's
you?
always super great to kind of also, let women know, like, hey, like, you don't always have to be in your mask. Just find the man that you're willing to kind of show your feminine side
Yeah.
to. Like, you're not always going to feel like that, and it's going to get boring. I will say that. It's going to get boring trying to always constantly be the man of your
Yeah.
own house. There's going to be a time where you're going to feel like, you know what, I want to submit. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, women need to kind of stop putting it down on,
for sure.
seeing it wrong.
I think I agree.
To do that, and the show has kind of hopefully helped, it's to bring awareness, I guess, or like help other women or help men too as well, and to find the right girl, like kind of see what the traits are, finding the right one.
Yeah,
So-
so my advice to men is if you follow women you don't know, unfollow them.
After 24 hours.
Literally.
After hold on.
Because like you said,
Hold on.
it's the
Hey,
accountability. It's
Hold
the
on.
accountability.
After 24 hours.
It's
I
the,
thought you were
it's the accountability. But that's the
Yeah.
accountability on men's end, because
Yeah.
men will follow so many different women that just look pretty, and that's us giving y'all validation.
That
to
is
y'all.
true.
Yeah,
And
that's
we
true,
need to
yeah.
not do that. No
But if
more.
she-
We
but if
don't
she
know you,
doesn't-
we should not follow
If she
you.
doesn't follow you in 24 hours, you unfollow
Hey,
her.
I've done
That's
that
a rule.
so many times. If
That's
you
a rule.
do not follow me back in 24 hours, I'm unfollowing.
100%.
Like, it's
I
gone.
won't lie, this is probably the best interesting, podcast that you've probably had.
I appreciate it. Everybody else is
No,
Yeah,
100%.
this is
I love the energy here. It's great. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You know why we love the
Yeah.
energy era? It's because they're more feminine than all
Oh,
these
bro.
masculine ass women that be coming on the show.
I feel it too,
Yes,
dog.
please.
Yeah,
You
for
are
sure.
feminine. Please come on. And if you're masculine, hopefully we can change that. But
I mean,
Yeah.
I think there should always be a debate. It's always good. But
It
again,
is.
always respect. You know,
Yeah.
I think respect one another. You have to understand everybody's different. You can't try to force an agenda, like you say, force something like if that's how they want to be, that's how they want to be.
No, I mean we do want to force feminism. I mean we want you to be more feminine, not feminine.
Yeah.
Yes, we do want to force you to be more feminine.
Let's take one last shot. You guys down? One last shot. Hey,
I
producers
still
in the
have-
back.
I'm gonna take
Shout
this
out
right
to
here.
shout out to the gentleman in the back.
Hey, no, wait, big shout out to Roger.
Super supportive.
Hell yeah.
Big shout out
Put
to
that
Roger.
camera on him.
Big
Yeah.
shout out to Roger.
Big shout out.
That's like the biggest shout out. The
Yep.
biggest shout out is to Roger.
Let's do it. One last shot.
Always
I
being
still have some. I'm gonna keep this.
Okay, yeah.
Got you, girl. I'm driving.
You got your cup.
Yeah, bro.
You say he's driving.
He lost.
Excuse me. I think you need to not take that shot.
Yo, everybody in the show, 1 to 10, drop what you think or how you feel about the show. Everyone in the chat.
My knees getting old right there.
Oh man, I heard that.
Usually
Word,
the girls
thanks.
are the ones their knees get old.
Not me, bro. It's okay. You know, it's part of life. Circle of
I'm
life.
good, I'm
It's
good.
yeah.
I smell that.
Are you gonna mix it?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's your shot. That's your chaser cup.
Hey, 10 to 10. That's right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, we're good.
we're good.
Take one for you, baby.
All right, so if anybody does want to come back on, like Low or Nancy, I'm great to have a debate with you. We can always agree to disagree again.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers to
Salud.
episode 6.
Number 6.
Appreciate everybody.
Yes, sir.
Oof.
Oh,
And a girl.
god damn.
And this is already like that.
All right, I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Nancy. 8 out of 10.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, for sure.
We'll
8 out of
take
10
that.
is cool.
I'll take that.
8 out of 10 is
Take
cool.
that.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in to another episode of Open Discussions, where we will open topics for women to understand us men and men to understand women. We'll catch you at the next episode. And remember, this is always going to be respectfully.